One question out of interest, like I'm kind of new to the job board space, 3 years. Has the hiring market been like a tough one, would you say, in the last couple? Or is it
Yeah,
pretty normal? It's been
yeah,
tough overall.
it's definitely been a tough year for job boards, particularly the big guys, the Indeeds, the ZipRecruiters,
Hmm.
down like 30-40%.
Crazy.
And companies here are just like really just they pulled everything back. They're just kind of waiting and seeing and doing more with less. And that's been the market over here. Lots of, in tech too, like lots of layoffs in tech. All the tech job boards definitely are, have been hurting this year because of that. So it's been a rough year, but things will. Yeah, one thing I've learned is that this business is cyclical, and
Hmm.
the tide will turn eventually because that's the way the economy goes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm waiting
economy
for
ebbs
that
and
then.
flows, so do job boards. So you have to really, as a job board, if you're going to be this for the long haul, you have to expect downturns.
Yeah.
And you have to, you got to make sure you got multiple revenue streams. You got stuff for the hard times, to do and to make money with. So like things like monetizing seekers. I want to get into that with you. I know you're a client of Rightsy, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's really important now to have multiple revenue streams if you're running any kind of job marketplace. So
Yeah, sounds good. I'm glad I'm not the only one then.
awesome. Well, let's talk about your 4-day week. And hey, everybody, Chris Russell here from Job Board Secrets. I'm a job board consultant who helps companies start, manage, run their job boards. And I like to talk to new job board owners here. So we got Phil McParlane. He's from Scotland, and he's the owner and founder of 4dayweek.io. It's a job board that's been around since 2020, I think. And we're going to talk to him today about his journey into the job board world. How's it going, and all that good stuff. So, Phil,
Yep.
give me the origin story here. I know we did a featured article on you, but give me the verbal version of that.
I mean, honestly, I've just always had an interest in jobs with kind of a better work-life balance, but more so just more time for myself, if I'm being honest. I've always had, this interest in building things on the side, but when you're working 9 till 5, there's just not enough hours in the day. Um, so yeah, I mean, I've worked in many jobs as a software engineer, data scientist, and the days are long, the weeks are long. So at one point, I just kind of looked into some, reduced working hours, but there really wasn't much, and I didn't even know what to search for, to be honest with you. This was during a period of my life, and I should say, where I was traveling 3 hours a day. I was going to Edinburgh, and on Fridays it would be like a table tennis tournament. That's what I always say. And it's just like a long way to travel to like go and play table tennis. And I just felt a lot of work can not be a waste of time, but there's a lot of slack, I would say, in
Yeah,
the day.
downtime. Yeah, downtime. They would call it.
Definitely, yeah. And yeah, just more interested in something a bit more like 4 days, 3 days. Did a bit of research online, and came across the 4-day work week. And there was a real kind of push through COVID to new ways of working, and that was one of the kind of micro trends that kind of took off. Obviously, remote work was the big one, but 4-day week and kind of reduced working hours was one of them. And yeah, put a very quick website together, and still going 3 years later. But I'm sure we'll get into all that.
Yeah. Um, so let me pull up your site here on Zoom here so we can take a quick look at it. I think you custom built it, right? Is that
It's a
correct?
custom build, yeah. So I'm a developer. It's probably not what I would suggest for someone doing a new website, but
Mm.
c'est la vie, I didn't know much else at the time.
Yeah. First of all, what'd you build it on? What's the technology behind it?
So it's in React, JS,
React.
and yeah.
Okay. No, it's got a nice clean look to it. And I think a site like this today has to have a lot of clean look. So you got all your SEO links down here. So okay, so receive weekly alerts for 4-day week jobs, 32 hours a week basically. And I think you kind of expanded on that niche a bit. Talk to me about the niche first in terms of the types of
Yeah.
jobs here.
So when I first started off, it was very much the gold standard of a 4-day week, which is specifically 4 normal length days, not long days, 4 8-hour days, and for no drop in salary, and trying to maintain
Mm.
100% output despite the 20% less time. And there's many reasons for that. I won't get into that just now, but 4-day work week is a very interesting topic when you read into it because when you think about it, it's 20% less time but you get 50% less, more time off because you get a 3-day weekend instead of a 2-day. So it's kind of an asymmetric thing going on there. Anyway, so I've expanded beyond the 4-day work week. There's now jobs like 4-day week every second week, 9-day fortnight, which is like a kind of compressed 4-day week every second week. And then you've got other things like summer Fridays, which is when the company shuts down every Friday in the summer. 4.5 day week, any kind of variation on not the 5-day week essentially. I've even started including some jobs that are like 5-day week jobs, but they have tons of vacation, like 45 days a year or something.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's still a kind of a niche, the 4-day week. There isn't that many companies doing it, so I'm trying to expand a little bit to give the job seekers some jobs that have a good work-life balance that might not specifically fit in the 4-day week model.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting niche there, and I think it's one that's it's only gonna grow, I think, in the next few years. So I think you definitely
Fingers
be on
crossed.
something. Starting a job board, picking the right niche is always important, and it's always good to get in early, any kind of, trend or whatever it is. I know the
Mhm.
guy from Remote OK, which is one of the most successful kind of
Yeah,
solo
levels.
or job boards, started back in like I think 2015, maybe way before the whole remote thing took off, So he had great timing on his side, and timing is definitely a part of this. I started my local job board back in 1999, right before the dot-com boom happened, and once the bus came, it was kind of established enough
Mhm.
to kind of go on its own. I was able to quit my full-time job at that point. But yeah, I think the niche is
Nice.
pretty cool, and it's one that's going to grow overall. Definitely, you do have to educate the market too with a niche like this, though. Um, do you get a lot of questions about what types of jobs have to go on here, or from companies, or?
Yeah, I mean, like more just like trying to understand what the 4-day week is. I mean, it's called 4dayweek.io and the movement is 4-day week, but honestly, the movement has a little bit of a branding issue in my opinion, because, and that's hypocritical because I named the company 4-day week. But the reason is 4-day week means different things to different people.
Yep.
Some people it's 4 long days, some people it's 4 normal days, some people it's less salary, some people it's the same salary. So, it's really hard educating. Maybe it should be more like reduced work week or something, or like
Yeah.
32-hour work
There
week.
you
But unfortunately, that's not what the SEO says. People search for
go.
4-day week jobs,
Yeah.
hence the name. So yeah, that's the main education. I'm trying to include all these things and be very,
Mm.
very transparent on the website. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I want to ask you about
Transparency.
SEO, but let's talk about your first paying client. Tell me that story.
Mhm.
And how long did it take? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, so basically, for the bit of background, I put the website together in so version 0.1. Honestly, it was like one day because all the website was an image, which was the concept, and it was just like it was made up jobs. It was jobs that didn't even exist.
Yeah.
It was just like, this is a 32-hour work week at 100% salary, or this one's etc. Just an image of a concept and a sign up form. I had already done research and found that there were some companies offering these jobs, so I knew that it wasn't going to launch with nothing. But yeah, I put something very simple together and posted it on Hacker News, which for anyone knows is just it's a forum for developers. And like 400 people signed up within 2 days or something. And honestly, I've done tens of projects and that hit faster than 99% of them.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, put it together very quickly, very rough and ready. Didn't do very much. And honestly, it was like 6 months later before I even got a paying customer. It was just me emailing all of the companies that had a 4-day week, which was in the tens probably. It wasn't even 100 companies, I would say, that were hiring like remotely and had a 4-day work. It was very, very niche. So I was just emailing them, trying to get them on a Zoom call.
Mhm.
And yeah, eventually one just said, yeah, $200 a month or whatever it was. It wasn't like going to make me a millionaire or anything, but it was good to just get some validation. And I remember being on the call 2 weeks later just to see how they got on. And I had no tracking. I had no idea how many applications they got. I knew nothing. So I was going into this call blind. And she was like, yeah, we got 50 applications. And to me, that was like, wow, I cannot believe 50 people applied. So yeah, that's how it was. And then as the weird thing happens, I got one more sale like 2 days later or something. So it was, yeah, a lot of variance in this game, I think.
Where is your pricing, by the way? Here's one
Uh,
tip for you, Phil. Well,
Hmm.
why don't you have a
Post a
pricing
job.
thing on top up here, like for employers? I mean, if I'm an employer coming to the site, I want to
Yep.
post. You're making me hunt here for the link. So where is it?
So it's funny you say that. So there's a few reasons there's not a post a job button, which is the absolute elephant in the room on the website. Uh, Two things. I'm working on it just now. It's going to be
Okay.
launching soon. But the main reason, if I'm being honest with you, is that there were so few companies, and I mean, I knew by name all of the
Hmm.
hiring managers at all of the 4-day week companies.
Okay.
So having the post a job button was kind of just like, well, if I know them all, I might as
Hmm.
well just speak to them and get in a personal relationship with them. That's how niche the niche was. I would not recommend this for 99% of job boards. You should definitely have a post a job button. But yeah, just because I knew them all and it was very niche, there was kind of no point, I felt. And also I was testing different strategies on pricing, such as, commission only, as I was saying pre-call. It's been a tough market the last couple of years. So I was experimenting with stuff like that. But as I say, the pricing is coming. It's just a strange job board niche that I'm in that I actually knew everyone
Okay.
in the niche.
Fair enough. What is your pricing? What?
So it's going to be something similar to Remote OK, which you mentioned. It's going to be like the kind of you have a base price, and then you have add-ons if you want in the newsletter. You have add-ons if you want featured or a sticky post at the top of the website, that kind of thing. So it's still to be decided. Um, it's a little bit flexible at the moment. But as I was saying, I was previously doing pricing on a commission basis where I would promote the jobs for nothing and there would only be a fee if they hired someone and they stayed. So it was a percentage of salary, a very small percentage, albeit.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Looks like you can also just advertise regular advertising too on this page here.
yeah. So that's more streamlined that process. This is actually most of my income, to be honest with you, at the moment, is
Okay.
advertising in the newsletter. So I send out a newsletter twice a
Hmm.
week, and it's kind of like thought leadership, although I hate that phrase, on like the 9 to 5, that kind of thing, and also include jobs that have a 40 week or companies that have a 40 work week. And it has really good engagement. People really kind of get behind the movement and has good open rate and all the rest of it. So yeah, I just advertise. I offer advertisements and that for any companies really. Well, any tech relevant companies, obviously. And yeah, I've got someone doing sales outbound outreach for that one. So yeah,
So
that's been
you
my
have a
main.
45,000 people on the list?
There's about 110,000.
110,000 people
Yeah,
on your
something like
newsletter.
that.
That's amazing.
Thank
Uh,
you.
wh- how quickly did you how did you get your first thousand? How fast did that happen? Give me some sense of the timeline there.
So timeline was, as I say, I got kind of lucky that I had a post go kind of semi-viral when I launched. So as I said, the website was just an image, a JPEG, and a newsletter sign up form. That's all it was. And when I posted it on this forum, people really got behind the movement. There's obviously a feeling of being burnt out, especially during COVID. Just very lucky timing, if I'm being honest with you. Timing is everything. Um, so the first 500 people honestly signed up within a few days. I can remember sitting on the couch with my wife, and I would get a vibration every time someone signed up, and it was just like every 10 minutes or something.
Wow.
So yeah, so the first 1,000 maybe only took a week or two, and then it kind of tapered off because I had no SEO, I had nothing right. And then after that, it was just building the website out. It was learning SEO, if I'm being honest with you. I didn't know much about it.
Oh
And
yeah.
then I just had a blog post that went pretty well on Google, and that just gave me constant signups every day from there on.
It's interesting. Yeah, you're definitely you're a COVID startup here, which is interesting. You know, you're kind of without that event, probably wouldn't have started this, right? So,
Yeah, definitely.
it's interesting. So the traffic here is pretty big too. Talk about your traffic. And what's your average daily, monthly visitors?
I mean, monthly visitors over 200,000, something like that. So it's a little bit off than this.
I mean,
But yeah, it's just
that's
been.
like, I tell new job owners if you get to 10K a month, like that's a good,
Mhm.
starting point. You have 200K. I mean, that's really good, man.
No,
Um,
thank you. I mean, it's not been an overnight thing. I'm 3.5 years into it now, but it's
yeah.
been a pretty steady growth, and yeah, fingers crossed it continues.
Now, at this point, you're still working full time or no?
No, I haven't worked full time since 2 years ago or something. So I've
2
been
years
full
ago.
time on
Okay.
this. Yeah, I'm full time on this.
So it took you about 2 years to turn it into a full-time gig?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's basically my timeline. I tell new owners, like it's going to take you 1 to 2 years just to establish yourself in the market and also prove that,
Mhm.
need exists for whatever niche you're going after, right? So that's you're right in that timeline.
It
So
always takes longer, I would say, than you think.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about SEO. You said you were new at
Mhm.
it. I know one thing I want to point out here is this company link, and you've got
Mhm.
some really nice SEO pages here for 4 Day Week. I assume these are all top phrases people are searching on. So
Pretty
those,
much. Yeah.
something like Summer Fridays. So you got the
Mhm.
URL Summer Fridays, companies with Summer Fridays. That's kind of your on-page SEO there.
That
Uh,
needs a little bit of tweaking maybe, but yeah, I'm
does
working
it?
on that as well.
Did these pay what are some of your big pages as far as SEO goes? Can you mention those or
I mean, it's
maybe
mostly
or
like it's a bit of everything, to be honest with you. The homepage, 4 Day Week, I'm number one for that. 4 Day Work Week, I'm number one for
oh yeah?
that. And then
Let's try
honestly,
that. Let
for
me on Google here.
hopefully it works for you. And maybe two or three. It does vary a little bit, but I should be in the top. There you
There you
go.
go.
4 Day
Number
Week.
one.
Yep.
That's pretty good, man.
Thank you
Uh,
very much. As I say, that's been a long time coming.
yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I started doing blog posting. I ended up outsourcing blog posts right
You got
into an
two of the top
agency.
three actually.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
nuts,
here.
right?
Cool.
Um, yeah, so I did a lot of blog posting that was really built. I feel like blog posting, sometimes it might not get the traffic or the conversion that you want,
Hmm.
but it gives Google the kind of topical authority. Like it lets them know what you're kind of into, even if it doesn't like maybe directly send traffic to those pages. I think it's good to
Right.
just build up a kind of context or topical authority on these topics. So I'm still continuing to do these blog posts, even though like most of them don't convert very well, I'll be honest. Like it's the conversion rate of into a newsletter subscriber is usually like less than 1%.
Mhm.
So it can feel a little bit like a waste of resources, but I still think overall it just brings everything together and it's good to
Yeah.
balanced.
How much content are you doing now versus the beginning? Can you give me a sense of that?
So I started off doing maybe I was writing the posts myself initially, which is very tough. Even doing like one or two a month was tough when you've got everything else going.
Right.
And then I got an agency and I basically just funneled all of the revenue and also some of my personal money into just blog articles. This was pre-AI tools, by the way. This is
Mm-hmm.
pre Google changing all their algorithms. So it was
Yep.
kind of maybe an easier time. I'm not sure, but it just seemed like the articles got a little bit more traction if I hit the topics right. So yeah, I got the agency doing I think maybe like 4 articles a month, and then eventually I came off the agency and got my own freelance content writer. And because like AI tools now, you can really put out quite a bit of content quite quickly. So
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's in that kind of range. Single digits per month, but maybe closer to 10, 5
Yeah, I tell
figures.
new job owners you need to be a content machine that first year to help your SEO.
Hmm.
It's one of the ways you can get free traffic. So if you're not
Yeah.
leveraging that, then you're not maximizing your traffic opportunities there. So that's pretty
So
cool.
the blog post that I had that went did really well on Google was super relevant to my niche, which was just 10 tech companies that have a 4 Day work week. And because I'm 4dayweek.io and I'm blogging about 10 tech companies that have a 4 Day work week, Google just like instantly respects it kind of thing. It's so niche, it's in my niche, it's so relevant. So I would say like the first job, maybe the first blog posts really go super deep on your niche and just try and hit the super long tail.
Yeah.
There is some other weird stuff in there that was kind of the agency that was
Yeah.
suggesting stuff, but yeah,
You have
it's
the
worked out
blog, but
okay.
you also have like advice. Why'd you separate that?
So see if you go to the bottom actually, go to the footer of the page. If you go down,
Oh, the footer.
no, the footer of the whole page. So at the top of the footer, there is different categories. You see them here: resources, blog, advice and guides, work and life
Okay.
balance, and they're all just kind of putting content in folders essentially.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah, and it seems to be Google likes it, I think.
Salary guides.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, So yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a lot of, I mean, it's a lot of content. You really broke it out and organized it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, you mentioned the Google updates. So I had a client, I've had multiple clients back in April. There was a big SEO
Yeah.
algorithm change. Did you see that yourself? Did you get hit? Did you get more traffic?
I would say slightly less, but nothing terrible,
Slightly less.
10% or something. It's 10, like really minor, I would say. I'm probably nitpicking.
Yeah, my clients have lost like
Um,
50%. Um,
yeah, yeah, I got hit very small, I would say. No, I can't even call it a hit, to be honest with you. So I was lucky in that front. It's been tough, right? All
yeah.
these changes.
Yeah, everything's changing so
Yeah.
fast now. It's crazy, you know. It's what you
So out of interest
can't
for those people, was it like blogs that got hit, or was it home pages? Was it everything? Was there any kind of
lose everything, I
themes?
think. It plus like a
Everything?
lot of, if your site has duplicate jobs too, that was a big part of it too. The
Okay.
Google job stuff. Because there's basically with job boards, there's two types of SEO. There's Google Jobs SEO, and then there's
Hmm.
the content piece, right? The Google Jobs SEO, they definitely crack down more on duplicate, scrape jobs. If you have a lot of scrape jobs, they're just not going to send you much traffic. They want unique jobs, and very few
Hmm.
sites have that today. So that's why they lost traffic, I think. That was a
Yeah,
big,
okay.
big piece of that.
It's
Um,
interesting because I get almost zero. In fact, I get zero traffic from Google Jobs. It's very weird.
yes,
I've
that
never been
doesn't
able to
surprise me.
crack it.
It's because it is so, it's 7 years old now. It is
Hmm.
so saturated with the big sites. They just took over. And for a niche job board like yours or mine or a lot of my clients, they don't have enough jobs. They don't have enough unique jobs, and
Hmm.
they just have that. Google likes that brand name, so that's why Indeed, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn get all the traffic now.
Hmm.
In the beginning, yeah, a lot of sites saw like a 20% bump in the first year or two. But since then, it's been saturated. Even employers have their jobs in there now through ATSs. So
Hmm.
it's just way too
Interesting.
many sources in there now to rank for anything.
Okay.
So
Interesting. Yeah, so go
yeah.
for more categories and like kind of organic Google
Mhm.
traffic, I would say
That's
then.
why content like yours here was a really good play because you don't have a ton of jobs on there. I think you only have what was it? Is that 1172 total?
Yeah, and to be honest
Yeah.
with you, 1172, but the vast majority of them are not prime jobs I want, 4 day
Right.
week.
Yeah,
So
they're on
it's
the
really been
fringes.
struggled to even to get over 1,000. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So that's interesting. Cool stuff, man. Yeah, what's your advice for a new job order today? If people ask you, how do I start a job order today? What kind of advice
Hmm.
do you give them?
Well, I would say, as you kind of mentioned, picking your niche is the most probably important thing that'll dictate everything. Going for something that's low competition, got some volume. It's not easy. It's not easy. I probably wouldn't do what I did where I built everything custom. I probably would just use something a bit more off the shelf. But then again, I've never used these tools. I don't know how good they are, or what the ups and the pros and cons are. But yeah,
Yeah,
identify the niche.
you could
Mhm.
have built this on like Smart Job or something like that because it's pretty
Yeah,
flexible in terms of the content creation, stuff like that, and pages and stuff.
yeah,
I
no,
think
definitely.
you can code on top of it, but you definitely could, 95% of what you did here, I think you could have replicated it in a tool like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Mhm.
no, definitely. I mean, I'm sure they give you all the AC out of the box. I've kind of done it
Mm.
myself. I mean, what's worked for me, as you said, was writing content. Content got me my first thousand or a few thousand users, and then I just iterated from there, making sure all the SEO is a constant battle. I find like you never complete it. You're constantly like fixing issues,
Mhm.
uh, checking Google Search Console, Ahrefs, whatever tool you use. Um, at the end of the day, you're just trying to get pages on your site that are relevant to you and are not that have low competition. That's kind of the name of the game, right? So you want to just give Google an opportunity to show you to their audience. And yeah, I would say niche down pretty hard and maybe expand out from there overall, but give it time as well. It does take a damn long time. It really does. Especially with SEO, it can take even over a year sometimes, but
Yeah,
consistently keep with it and you should get there.
good stuff, Phil. Hey, I wanted to ask about RightC. So I'm a brand ambassador for them now. You've got RightC installed on here for
Yeah.
a resume review. How's that been going when you sign up with them? Give me some details there.
Yeah, that's been great. Got a good relationship with Rightsy. So basically, you just check that box, you upload your resume, and then it gives you kind of feedback on your resume. And if you want to kind of get it rewritten by a human with and an expert, that's what they offer. And
Yep.
yeah, it's a great way to monetize a job board without a lot of effort because I just have to add a checkbox. I just had to code this thing up, which only took a few days. Integrate with an API. You do have to be a little bit technical. That is the only downside, but I guess it's the same for
Yeah.
all
Well,
jobs.
they have the widget too. So I have a site. I'm on Smart Job Board and I have a
Hmm.
Enterprise integrated there. They just created a widget for me. I just cut and
Ah,
paste.
nice.
So it
Oh,
sits on the
that's easier then.
sidebar, yeah, on the little side over here, and that's how they implement it for that kind of platform. So that if you do custom build your own site, you can certainly do it like you did here,
Hmm.
but you can also get a widget from them as well. So
Interesting. Oh, that's a great way of doing it then. I mean, it's great when you get it in the sign up flow, I find as well. Like when I got this, because the sign up flow is like my main thing, this is where like most of my eyeballs hit. This is where most of the input and the interaction is with this in a sign up
Mhm.
form. So it's kind of given me ideas almost because it's such a great way of adding revenue to your job board. You get a resume review, but maybe there's something else I can offer. I'm still thinking about this. Other things I could layer into my sign up process to more offers or products. I'm not really sure yet, but honestly, Rightsy's been great. It's really easy to get going, and yeah, if you want to monetize it with a few clicks, that's the way to do it.
Awesome. Well, Phil, we appreciate your time today. I think we'll end it on that note. And yeah, dude, I'm impressed. You've done a great job. You're probably like my ideal success story, for this business. I've been doing this for a long time, and I love solo stories because I'm a solo entrepreneur myself, and that's how I started too. So it just takes hustle, it takes grit, effort, and you can get there. And you're definitely proof of that. So I give you a nice
Thank you
clap
very
for
much.
that one.
I
So
appreciate it, Chris, and yeah, thanks for having me on.
keep up the good work. And 4dayweek.io is the site, guys. Check it out. And we'll see you next time on Job Board Secrets. We're out.